Happy New Year. Welcome to today's live. This is our first live event for the new year, and I am so excited that you have joined us. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the three easy steps for planning your fundraising focus in the new year. Today's event is specifically designed for startup nonprofits, founder led organizations, and organizations that may not have a track record of successfully securing individual donations. So let's dive right in. The three easy steps for planning your fundraising focus for the new year. Well, I know you didn't start your nonprofit organization to raise money, even though you know you need money to sustain it. You started it because you saw a need that you wanted to meet. Now, I know that no two nonprofits are alike, but for the most part, the principles that I'm going to share with you today and outline will apply to most nonprofits, particularly if you're in a startup 2 years or less. First, I want you to start by asking yourself these important questions. What do you want to accomplish this year? How many people do you want to serve? How will you achieve this goal? And how much money do you want to raise? And how much do you need to make your goals and dreams a reality? By asking these critical questions, you are beginning the first step towards planning. Your success in creating a sustainable nonprofit organization starts with planning. You need a plan. And your plan needs to include your overall fundraising goal, strategies, and how you plan to reach those goals. These critical questions will form the basis of how you will detail the activities that you'll do throughout the year. And you want to detail those activities on a calendar, showing all the various ways you plan to generate funds during this entire year. So think about all the activities your organization will engage in throughout the year. Don't wait until it's Giving Tuesday or some holiday that matches with your mission and your vision. Start now, thinking about throughout the year, these are the things we're going to do month quarter one, quarter two, three, and four. Every activity, non-fundraising activities as well as fundraising activities. These you want to make sure you think about what you will do when you're not asking for money. Think about the donor communications or the prospect communications. Think about stewardship. Think about the warm touches. Think about how you're going to share your impact and your mission and your vision to everyone and anyone who would listen. All these things are designed to give your prospects and your donors a great experience. Things that will inform them about your impact and what you are planning to do and what you've done in the past. My friends, planning is key. As a startup organization, you don't have a track record for previous years, which is why it is imperative for you to think about what you're planning to do this year. You want to make sure that you track everything. So when you're planning for the next year, you can look back over this year and see what worked and see what didn't work. So what can you do this month to position yourself for success? Well, you can start by asking those critical questions that I raised earlier. Then plan out your calendar of activities. Well, next you're probably asking yourself, well, Sharon, where are these prospects and these donors going to come from? Well, let me tell you. You can start by identifying your ideal prospect and create a plan for finding them in your community. We have the magic sauce for that. And one of the most effective ways to do this is conducting a market study. A market study is a very sophisticated way of identifying businesses, people, foundations, corporations who have a history of giving to organizations and causes like yours. Armed with this information, you can develop a plan to introduce them to your organization. And my friends, January is a great time to do this. And if you're interested, we have the tools you need to get this done. Just reach out to us and we're happy to share that with you. Find out more about this just by emailing us. Having this information, I guarantee you, will set you apart from all the other nonprofit organizations out there. You don't want to be contacting random people just sending them information about your organization. But you want to be connecting with those people who already have demonstrated that they care about what you care about and have proven it by donating to causes like yours. This, my friends, is a game changer and it will set you up for a win. Next, it's time to develop the voice of your organization and define your brand. These are the two key elements that will form the basis of your fundraising. All of these will get you started on the right foot for donor-based fundraising, which is the best way to create recurring revenue month after month and year after year. Revenue that you can count on. Remember that in the early months of your nonprofit, you're essentially training your supporters about what they can expect from you. That makes for a great opportunity to purposely decide how you want your new prospect and how you want your new donors to see you. You want them to know what your track record is, what your intentions are, what your mission, vision, and values are, so they can come alongside you on this journey to support what you are doing in your cause. So here's what you should be doing right now. First, the first thing you want to do is make a plan. Just like I've said before, you want to make sure you set yourself up to have this plan in place to really begin to solidify all the things that you're doing. You want to set a fundraising goal. Start by mapping out what programs, what services you plan to offer during this year. You need to figure out what you're trying to provide. You want to figure out how many people, animals, etc. will you serve, what will be your impact, and how much will it cost. Specifically, you want to make sure what specifically you are doing to accomplish your mission. Think of it in terms of action. What is it that we're going to do? And this is how we're going to get it done. It's not enough to say, let me give you an example. We want to make sure that no veteran faces homelessness, for instance. You must be more specific than that. You want to say that we want to provide X number of housing vouchers to X number of homeless veterans for X amount of time. Makes sense? It's tangible. It is relatable. It is telling the prospect or the donor specifically what the issue is, how you plan to solve it, and what the time frame is that you plan to solve it in. Next, you want to think about the cost. What will it cost? This number is your program cost. How much do you need to run the nonprofit this year? That's going to be your operational costs. Those costs are your facilities, your rent, your payroll, administration, fundraising, phones, etc. Those are your operational costs. These two together form your fundraising goal. That's how you get to the goal. It's not some random number that you pick out of the sky. You're really going to talk about the program, what you plan to accomplish, and look at your operational costs, put those two together, and this becomes your fundraising goal for the year. Step 2, choose the right fundraising strategy. When your nonprofit is new, it is easy to reach for any opportunity for some quick cash. You might get really excited about the beer and burger night or the t-shirt sales, the restaurant nights, the games of chance, on and on and on, endless time wasting and money wasting opportunities. And yes, sometimes there's a place for these types of fundraisers, especially when they're planned and executed well. But make sure you're tracking your return on your investment to determine if you're really making a profit. These types of activities should only be a small part of your overall fundraising goals and your overall fundraising strategy. You want to know why? Because these are transactional fundraisers. They do nothing to build relationships with your prospects or with your donors. In fact, when people participate in these fundraisers, they're not donating at all. They're just eating at the restaurant or purchasing something for themselves or a loved one, and it happens to benefit your nonprofit. The difference between fundraisers and fundraising is just that, what the person gets in return. True donor-based fundraising involves getting donations for your cause because people believe in the work that you're doing and they trust you to be responsible stewards for their hard-earned money to get it done. Their giving is transformational, meaning they give to make a difference, not to receive something in return. Have you ever thought about it that way? I've developed an entire course and ebook that talks about moving from this transactional fundraising model to a resource development model, which focuses on relationship building. Check it out. And finally, step 3, write it down. I can't emphasize enough the importance of creating an RD plan, a fundraising plan that tracks all of your activities. This will serve you well in the years to come. So once you've chosen the fundraising strategies you want to use in this year, it's time to get everything put down in writing. So in closing, my friends, ask yourself these critical questions. What do you want to accomplish this year? How many people do you want to serve? How will you achieve your goals? How much money you need to make your dream a reality? Reach out to our team so they can walk you through how to acquire donors using our market study. And finally, choose the right fundraising strategy for your organization. We are experts at this. In the course of the last 30 years, working in the nonprofit industry, I've raised over $250 million for nonprofits globally. So I am the founder and lead consultant at Nonprofit Solutions Matter, where we build sustainable nonprofit organizations. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. I wish you the very best in this new year as you embark on becoming a thriving nonprofit organization. I hope we get to be on this journey with you and help you become a multi-million-dollar nonprofit organization. It's doable, my friends. See you on the inside. Take care.